have a seat. Good evening. Welcome to the Lee County High School Class of 2025 graduation ceremony. I am Casey Watson, and on behalf of the Class of 2025, I would like to thank everyone who is attending or watching the Lee County Class of 2025 graduation ceremony this evening. I would also like to thank the Lee County community for helping all of this year's graduates to make it to tonight. I am honored to be able to deliver the Class of 2025's graduation introduction. To make sure that all graduates get to feel the same honor, I'd like to remind everyone to act respectfully through the ceremony and refrain from any interruptions so we can all each graduate. Thank you and God bless.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Katie Williams, and I'm excited to welcome you all to the graduation ceremony for the Class of 2025. It is my honor to welcome our dedicated principal, Dr. Hancock, who we will all miss dearly, and our wonderful superintendent, Dr. Truitt, and thank them for all of their hard work in being the driving force that makes Lee County High School the School of Excellence. We also appreciate the supportive members of our Board of Education for joining us tonight to share this special moment. We are honored to share this night with all of the teachers, staff, parents, friends, and family supporting us here and from home. Congratulations to all of the graduates of the Class of 2025. We look forward to recognizing each of you and celebrating your success and hard work that allowed you to be here tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. Graduation marks the beginning, not just an end. A chance to step boldly into the world as yourself. As you graduate, take a moment to realize how precious your time really is. Every hour of every day is a chance to shape your future, but only if you spend it being true to yourself. Don't fall into the trap of comparison. It is the thief of joy. There will be pressure to conform, to play it safe, to chase a path that looks good on paper but feels empty in your soul. Resist that. Live boldly, love deeply, create fearlessly, and walk proudly down your own road. This is your life. Own it. Please join me in a moment of silence in the memory of the loved ones we have lost during our journey. As you stand on the edge of this new chapter, remember this: your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. Congratulations, Class of 2025.
Good evening. My name is Carly Reese, and I am the Salutatorian for the Class of 2025. First of all, congratulations to all of the soon-to-be graduates sitting here today. This is not only a time to appreciate, but also a time to remember. Before we begin, I would first like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for being my rock and shaping me into who I am today. Secondly, to my parents, close family, and friends, thank you for always being my biggest support system. As we look forward to this exciting new chapter in our lives, I ask that we all reflect on the people who poured into us so that we could experience the honor and privilege of walking this stage today. To all teachers, thank you for being there every day, putting a smile on your face, and showing up when we needed you most. Your impact goes far beyond the classroom, and we will always remember your commitment to our growth, both as students and as people. And thank you to the families and communities who constantly encouraged us to succeed.
We truly appreciate your sacrifice of time and demonstration of patience. When you think about it, there are a lot of last moments we've experienced throughout our senior year. Last day of your favorite class, last bus rides and laughs with your teammates, last hallway conversation with your best friend. Bittersweet feelings of nostalgia likely cloud your mind during these moments because they confirm our reality and mislead us into thinking that this is the end of a long road. However, this is only the beginning. There are countless first moments to come our way, and if we don't look close enough, we could miss just how special these memories are. Despite our different paths, we have all overcome obstacles and adversities in our journey to graduation. Whether it was starting a new job, being challenged in your sport, or even cutting it a little too close to that midnight deadline, we have made mistakes and learned the art of time management through it all. I think we all found out quickly that senioritis wasn't just a rumor. By the end of the year, we were nothing short of exhausted from the constant activities of everyday life. But it was in these difficult times when we learned our greatest capabilities and our hardest lessons. It was in these times that we saw how far we have come. From freshmen to seniors, we have made immense progress, not only academically, but in our character as well. We learned to express our individuality and refuse to let a single characteristic define who we are. Steve Jobs once said, "Your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life." All of that is to say, how you carry out your potential now is entirely up to you. Choose to make a difference and challenge the norms. Utilize the wisdom poured into you over the years and achieve what nobody thought you could. Again, this is only the beginning of your story, class of 2025. Thank you and congratulations.
Good evening to our administrators and staff, to the families here to support their graduates, and to our graduating class of 2025. I am Christopher Dowling, your class of 2025 valedictory. You may resonate. You may resonate with the quote by Steve Jobs, "Your time is limited, don't waste it living someone else's life." Without knowing it, every graduate in this crowd has followed this advice to a certain degree. We become our own independent people and have gotten through the challenging years of high school through our own decisions, our own minds, and our own hearts. Yes, we are independent. But does that mean that we should only focus on our own concerns? Or as a mathematician might say, does independence imply isolation? The short answer is no. Independence is much more than worrying about yourself. Independence is having the freedom to do whatever you would like, accomplish whatever you would like. Independence is having the freedom to garner knowledge and skills as much as one wishes. Perhaps most importantly, independence is having the freedom to show compassion to others. As we move into the vast pathways that life presents us, I challenge you, graduates, to choose a pathway that leads towards kindness and humanity. It is my belief that using our independence to show others that we care, using our independence to solve problems facing our world, and using our independence to bring a smile to someone's face are the most noble acts a person can do. After all, the freedom is yours. With your limited time on earth, will you focus only on yourself? Or will you go the extra mile? I challenge you with these things because I know your potential. Each and every graduate here has reached this point. That in itself is an amazing achievement. Everybody in this room has extremely high potential. You have the capability to change the world for the better. You have something that you excel in. Use it to help others. No matter where you go from here, you have the power to change the course of your life. Have the courage to stop living someone else's life. When you gain that independence, make the choice to love others. Pain is a part of life. I say this to remind you that pain can be minimized if every person has kindness in their hearts and shares it with the world. My father, who is retiring this month, has always been an incredible inspiration for me, and he put it quite perfectly with a quote from Nickelback in his very first graduation speech as principal of the school. "If everyone cared and nobody cried, if if everyone loved and nobody lied, and if everyone shared and swallowed their pride, then we see the day when nobody died. If you take nothing else away from this speech, know this. If you look around the room right now, you will see classmates, you will see friends, you will see co-workers and colleagues. Most importantly, however, you will see people. Each and every soul surrounding you has made incredible memories and has made their way through high school in ways that you will never know. When you move past Lee County, wherever you find yourself after high school, take a moment to analyze your surroundings. Look around the room and see who's with you. Their struggles, their memories, and their feelings are completely unknown to you. But you have the power to change that. You have the power to learn about them and to change their lives. Don't live their life for them. Give them a reason to live their own life with you in it. Your kindness is the most powerful weapon you have. Use it as much as you can. Thank you. Parting Glass is a traditional folk song that speaks to the beauty of friendship, gratitude, and the bittersweet nature of goodbyes. As we take this next step forward, may its words remind us of the bonds we built and the journeys still ahead.
Of all the money that I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm that I've done, at last it was to none but me, and all I've done for want of wit to memory now I can't recall, so failed to me a parting glass, good night and joy be with you all.
Let's give him another round of applause. Welcome, students, families, faculty, board members, and all the loved ones gathered here today. Tonight is a very special night for many reasons. Of course, we are here to celebrate this graduating class of 2025. But for me, it's also a personal milestone. After many years of serving as your principal and after giving countless speeches to students just like you, this one feels just a little bit different. As you know, I'm retiring and couldn't be prouder of a group to lead with than the students sitting before me tonight. Over the years, I've given advice about perseverance, hard work, and chasing dreams. But tonight, as I stand here one last time, I want to share what I truly believe matters the most. After all these years, this is my very best advice. Be kind, lead with your heart, and most importantly, extend grace. Someone once told me that grace is free. It's not something you earn or you buy. It's a gift that you get to choose to give. I've seen you extend grace with each other countless times throughout your high school journey. When someone made a mistake, when someone was having a tough day, when forgiveness was harder than holding a grudge, you chose grace. That simple, powerful act made our school better. I know high school hasn't been easy. Goodness knows there's rules to follow, systems to work within, and moments that challenge you every day. But through it all, you are what kept this place going. When your willingness to lift one another up, your ability to find humor when things were frustrating, your choice to lead with compassion, even when no one asked you to. Real leadership doesn't wear a badge or sit in an office or have titles attached. It's the people sitting here today who drove you to practice before you could drive yourself, who sat through countless after-school events. Trust me, as a mom, they're not always exciting. Sometimes giving a ride to one of your friends just because they needed a lift. It's the bus driver who greeted you in the morning with a smile. It's the teacher who gave you a second chance to retest or stay after class to help you be more successful than you thought you could be. It's the team leader who put in extra hours to help you prepare for competitions, concerts, and all the other thousands of things you people are involved in. Sometimes, though, it's you. It's the quiet voice making sure someone doesn't sit alone at lunch because they're new in our building. Sometimes it's staying after class to help someone who's struggling, or standing up for what's right when it would be easier just to stay quiet. These everyday acts of kindness may seem small, but they actually shape who we are, carry us forward, and who you will become. As you leave here and step into whatever path you choose, whether it's college, a career, or just something else that's bold and for you, don't lose that part of yourself. The world will offer you countless ways to measure success: titles, salaries, for y'all it's social media recognition. But let me remind you that as your peers have said tonight, your time is limited. Don't waste it on someone else's life. Those words from Steve Jobs are more than just advice. It's a challenge. A challenge to be yourself, to chase your own dreams, not someone else's version of success, to live boldly, authentically, and with heart. I've learned something, sometimes from experience, but mostly from watching you, that the truest success is how you treat people when there's nothing to gain. Your mark, the mark you leave on others, will outlast any resume line. As the great Maya Angelou once said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So if I can leave you with one final message as your principal, it's this: be kind, lift up others, lead quietly, boldly, and with heart. Have passion in what you do. And extend grace, even when it's not expected, because the world doesn't need just more professionals, it needs more good people. Congratulations, class of 2025. Thank you for everything you've taught me, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. You are truly an unforgettable group, and I couldn't have asked for a better class to share this milestone with. Yeah. As you leave here today, I ask that you go out and make your mark. This world is going to be better because you're in it, but don't forget to take along someone else. On behalf of myself, the faculty, and the staff of Lee County High School and 9th grade campus, congratulations again. We wish you all the best and God bless. Dr. Truitt, I certify that these individuals here today have met the state of Georgia and Lee County Board of Education graduation requirements. Thank you.
Thank you, graduates, and congratulations to you and your families for this incredible honor. Dr. Hancock, I certify by the power vested in me by the Lee County Board of Education and the state of Georgia as superintendent of schools, I hereby certify that these students have met the criteria for graduation and are now officially graduated.
Christopher Patrick Dowling, valedictory. Carly Lane Reese, salutatory. Russell Carson Anderson. Emily Margaret Andrew. Braylon Stavar Ball. Joshua Allen Barnes. Melina Sophia Bicharir. Lauren Delaney Bell. Noelia Bermudez Feliciano. Shantis Nico Billings. Gordon Elizabeth Brown. Weston Lee Bryan. Dura Carl Butler. Amaria Kamar Chapman. Ayana Jade Sintron. Caleb Coleman Dale. Trenton Andrew Day. Brock Roberts Donley. Tess Annalie Douglas. Ashley Kalea Drexler. Alana Janae Edge. Taylor Renee Edwards. Zane Alexandria Fairbanks. Luis Angel Fernandez. Sadie Reagan Gilmore. Maya K. Glavin. Evie Leah Graham. William Brantley Griffin. Jaden Armando Guevara. Aiden David Haller. Sophie Blair Henderson. Annie Tran Ho. Anila Rain Hogshead. Daniel Napu Iriarte. Maggie Annabelle Irvin. Cameron Michelle Kyle. William Joseph Kirksey III. Sarah Elizabeth Land. Landry Page Liston. Joshua Taklai Molino. Marfran Emmanuel Reyes Mata. John Thomas McNeil. Madison Rebecca Miller. Leah Marie Mullins. Sloan Temples Odom. Paresh Nanesh Patel. Trisha Minesh Patel. Braylon Anton Paul. Jacob Robert Posey. Eliza Faith Poston. Amelia Ann Reed. Tanner Jackson Rojak. Cameron Nicholas Sanders. Laura Yvette Waleed Shayel. Catherine Wesley Shiver. Alex Smith. Brent Wilburn Smith. Maggie Catherine Taylor. Carl Nakaka Tete. Elena Camille Thompson. Emily Ann Tran. Ryan Paul Tucker. Alyssa Caitlin Tweet. Emma Claire Vandenberg. Olivia Joan Vanderwalt. Aiden James Vargovich. Savannah Marie Wagner. George Truett Waldrop. Katie Elizabeth Williams. Madison Grace Willis. Walker Clay Woolard. John Bray Yawn. Ladies and gentlemen, those were the 2025 honor graduates from Lee County High School. Shifa Abdul Rahman. Christian James Akins. Kendall D.M. Akins. Arnyla Janae Allen. Alyssa Michelle Alex. Noah Alexander Anderson. Ashton Duran Arnett. Dylan Wayne Arnold. Nathan Daniel Altman. Waylon Lee Onspaw. Alexandria Chase Balla. Meredith Maxine Balsell. Emma Hazel Barkley. Maya Adriana Barnes. Linkaya Monet Barney. Pratham Amit Barrett. Adrian Kiwan Battle. Chloe Parker Beckham. Addison Mackenzie Belcher. Michael Bell Jr. Elena Brianne Bentley. Shelby Jane Bivens. Porter Ryland Blackburn. Caleb Eugene Blaylock. Abigail Brooklyn Borgwine. Christian Brock Boswell. Ashton Derek Bradley. Colton Jackson Bridges. Danny David Gumiyagai Brillante. Sophia Brooks. Gabriel Lavelle Brown. Paris Michelle Brown. Serenity Shemaya Brown. Tamelia Tiana Burgess. Dominic Alexander Burrows. Grace Raylan Bird. Jaden Torellis Caldwell. Mallory Landers Calhoun. Kamaya Bontrese Kennedy. Riley Brayton Cannon. Tally Grace Carter. Madeline Davis Carnes. DeKaylin Emmanuel Carr. Joseph Ashmore Carson IV. Nicholas David Castellanos. Sadie Ann Marie Charles. Rosalind Nicole Chilka. Iena Sheetrock. Torian Brandon Durant Clark. Peyton Dean Clenny. Tiana Cheyenne Clyde. Jeremiah Malik Coleman. Brady Culver. Libby K. Conyers. Peyton Thomas Cooper. Carlos Santana Cortez. Caleb Kennedy Cox. Jackson Lewis Creech. Lamar Tayshawn Crockett. Kyle Jalen Colbert. Maya Alyssa Cunningham. Julian Michael Daly. Walter Sean Dancer. Jaden Allen Daniels. Caleb Joseph Gilbert David. Braylon Amari Davis. Christopher Zion Davis. Ruth Davis. Harley Rianne Marie Davis. Kamarian Tajan Davis. Zachary Joseph Davis. Caitlin Mallory Dickens. Shamar Tayshawn Dixon. Leah Ann Dooley. Mason Wills Ernest. Trinity Avea Eddings Henderson. Isabella Escobar. Rachel Marie Etheridge. Elizabeth Drew Fabrizio. Carly Grace Falk. Traylon Jermichael Felton. Ethan Alexander Ferguson. Georgia Lynn Flowers. Jemiah Jolette Flowers. Carly Michelle Frankowski. Kyla Abria Frazier. Camden Matthew Fulgham. Ava Sophia Fuller. Tiaja Yvonne Gardner. Lauren Alexandra George. Michaela Tyneek George. Jalen Carey Jaquan Gibson. Sean Draken Glover. Gabriel Thomas Sammy Golden. Matthew Logan Gray. Traviana Antoinette Jacavia Gray. Asia Denise Green. Kalia Paige Green. Camiria Denise Greer. Alex Richard Griffin. Anaya Alice Griffin. Caden Michael Griffin. Seth Franklin Griffin. Alexis Hunter Gross. Jackson Allen Guest. Christopher Ross Gwynn Jr. Landon Thomas Hare. Fletcher Thomas Hall. Heavenly Grace Hall. Nicorian Rashad Hall. Jonathan Daniel Halstead. Colton Jacob Hardison. Matthew Lee Hardwick II. Connor Stephen Harris. Jontavius Malachi Harris. Michael Scott Harville. Gerald Atlas Hatcher. Nathan Cole Hayes. Ava Lynn Hendrickson. Michael Bryce Hendricks. Brody Arlen Henry. Aiden Gabriel Herendeen. Jabari Kentrell Hicks. Carson Michaela Higginbotham. Tyson Shaheem High. Anthony Latre Hightower Jr. Jamal Rashad Hill Jr. Starling Hope Hill. Michelle Hicks. Chloe Jerry Hobbs. Tyler Sherrod Hodges. Rayleigh Claire Hoy. Thomas Joseph Hoy III. Hattie Elizabeth Holly. Chandrea Armani Holsey. Sean William Hoover. Dylan Christopher Horn. Jordan Andre Houston. Colin Dean Howard. Haley K. Marie Howard. Braden O'Shea Jackson. Devin Dino Jackson. Severa Helena Jagdeo. Cameron Randolph James. Liam Kivari Jenkins. Noel Jose Jimenez. Samantha Alicia Jimenez. Antonio Derek Williams Johnson II. Isabella Elaine Johnson. Jordan Deshaun Johnson. Kane Russell Jones. Reese Daniel Jones. Cody Edward Kelly. Trenton Gray Kennedy. Malachi Kunn. Dakota Mark King. Cameron Blake Kersey. Usman Fofana Kroma. Tristan Andrew Kizminski. Noah Ishar Margins LaFortune. Elise Neve Lakes. Kwa Gia Jason Lamb. Cameron Latron Lambert. Kedra Monshe Lane. Brandon Michael Larimore. Zacchaeus Wright Larimore. Rashad Quintarius Lasser. Zainasha Talia Lavant. DeMarcus Terrell Lee. Lonnie Joshua Lee. Taryn Marie Lee. William Thomas Carzell Leviston Jr. Khalil Jeremiah Levy. Madison Mackenzie Little. Philip Grayson Logan. Ava Kirsten Loki. Davis Alexander Long. Elijah Radman Lorber. Samira Denise Lewis. Rayshawn Anthony Mabel. Carrie Isaac Mackey. Alexander Vito Magadino. Jamarian Kyrie Marsh. Jamarian Shea Burnell Martin. Leighton Greer Mathis. Jada LaPromise Madison. Adun Naomi Usher Sharon Maxwell Sheeton. Leah Hope McConnell. Reagan Olivia McDaniel. Stephen Miller McDonald Jr. Mary Paige McGuire. Christopher Hugh Metcalf. Jemiah Faith Mike. China Jalea Miller. Evan Wynn Coral Marie, Kama'aho Lai Miller. Abigail Riley Malord. Madison Jessica Mims. Stephen Blaine Minor. Ernest William Mitchell III. Jake Landon Mitchell. Noman Muhammad. Chase Gadar Molden. Braden Javon Moore. Chloe Alice Moore. Kylan Amari Moore. Gavin Robert Morey. Jalen Jatavius Moses. Ashley Melissa Moulton. Hollis Riker Moore. Richard Nelson. Tally Mintran Wynn. Callie Paige Nicholson. Nyasia Zaitwana Nix. Deonta Deshawn Odom. Ethan Howard William Ojiba. Carol Olalde Hernandez. Addison Lane Parker. Cameron Mantoria Pate. Drew Sanjay Kumar Patel. Shashi Rajesh Patel. Veer Pritesh Patel. Hugh Rakeem Patel. Nevaeh Princella Rose Patton. Reagan Tyler Patterson. Talisha Lynn Patterson. Victoria Paz. Walker Bo Peavy. Malik Tyrone Javon Bennett Jr. Hayden J. Pilgrim. Owen Ray Pitts. Joseph Brandon Kohler. Dalton Blaine Pollock. Christian Amari Posey. Ethan Matthew Powell. Tucker Grayson Powell. Landon Harrison Price. Reagan Marie Price. Justin Ryan Purvis Jr. Alana Gabrielle Raw. Carter William Rakowski. Avery Tyler Rice. Ethan Todd Richards. Dylan Keith Drake Richardson. Janiyah Deshauna Richardson. Elijah Juan Richetti. Breasia Desiree Robinson. Adam Lanier Rodriguez Jr. Caitlin Jean Roll. Shania Lavette Nicole Rollins. Gideon Ray Luce. Logan John Rootson. Warren Michael Rudolph. Kaylin Reese Saliba. Sophia Elaine Saunders. Madeline Grace Schramm. Tamarian Kamar Scott. Kimari Montrell Cersei. Muhammad Fayez Shazad. Riley Ann Shields. Sydney Marie Schaus. Caden Will Zipper. Robert Louis Simmons. Nehemiah Cedric Sims. Jordan Leasia Smalls. Sierra Bella Vernell Smith. Isla Kate Smith. Wyatt Allen Smith. Dean Cole Smith Eddings. Cody James Solomon. Mason Riley Stalby. Hadley Aiden Stiegel. Autumn Nicole Stelly. Autumn Leanne Stevens. Samantha Bell Stevens. Jada Nicole Stokes. Lee Ryan D. Marcus Street. Raymond Grace Strickland. Renina Jalea Stringer. Alexis Camille Stroop. Michael D. Wayne Strum. Caleb Michael Stewart. Ashley Maita Suarez. Destiny Lee Suarez. Alexandria Lee Swift. Justin Sean Tanksley. Jordan Tyann Taylor. Marissa J. Taylor. Kendall Janae Terry. Ryan Yvette Thomas. Kinsley Grace Timmons. Trent Ahmad Tinch. Tony Tran. Caitlin Marie Tressello. Robert Wilburn Tucker, Jr. Courtney Javal Turner, Jr. Naomi Marie Turner. William Hudson Valandingham. Tony L. Marcus. Alexandra Vertigas. Dominic Gregory Vigil. Carson Zachary Wade. Amari Camille Walker. Tate Carter Walls. Kamaya Michelle Washington. Shamika Denise Loretta Waters. Kason Dallin Watson. Ania Elise Watts. Morgan Lee Webb. Darren Lorenzo West. Jace Brody White. Ja'Cory Iman White. Peyton Nicole Ezra White. Tysavion Deviri White. Brandon Markel Whitlock. Caitlin Marie Wiley. Coleman Allen Williams III. Janiyah Dominique Williams. Chase Terrell Williams. Tavoris Jalen Williams. Leland Graham Mills. Robert Massey Parker Wilson. Nylaja Kylea Wimberly. Deja Madison Wingfield. Devere Thomas Pride Wood. Ty J. Ajin Dupree Wood. Tajir Kiani Lee Wood. Aiden Riley Wooden. Gabriel Murdoch Garber. Tyler Brandon Young. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 graduating class of Lee County High School.
Good afternoon. My name is Paresh Patel. Please join me in another round of applause for our graduates. Class of 2025, as you leave the halls of Lee County High School, I want to remind you one last time of the words of Steve Jobs. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Your journey is just beginning. Each step you take is an opportunity to define who you are and what you stand for, to realize the potential that's already within you. Let your dreams be louder than your doubts. The tradition of turning of the tassel symbolizes our change from students to graduates. Graduates, please stand. Please join me in changing our tassels from right to left. To signify and celebrate this remarkable accomplishment, congratulations, class of 2025.